Hello students, hope you all are fine, and we are back again to our channel. And the topic taken for today is physical and chemical changes. This is a very basic topic in chemistry, physical and chemical changes. But before we move on to physical and chemical changes, what we have to study is types of changes. What are the types of changes? How many changes are there? And what is their definition? How can we categorize different type of changes? Those all things we are going to discuss in this video. Then we'll move on to our main topic, that is physical and chemical changes. Why I'm teaching you this topic before that? Because the terms that we are going to study here, we have to apply those terms in physical and chemical changes. So we need to know what are the types of changes. Then we'll move on to the physical and chemical changes in our next video. So let's start. How many types of changes are there? The first change that you study according to your book is fast and slow changes. How you have to take out the definition? Here it's very easy to take out the definition. How? The word itself is telling you what type of changes they are talking about. Fast change, slow change. Fast change means a change which takes place in a very short span of time, which takes a very short span of time. Okay, suppose you're breathing, so that is not a very long process. Okay, burning is not a very long process, it won't take too much time. But if you talk about rusting, you know that rusting is a process which do not take place in a small span of time. It takes months, years. Okay, so rusting can be categorized as slow change, but burning is a fast change. So how you have to give the definition is changes which takes place in a very short span of time are called as fast changes, and the processes which take a long span of time, okay, the time interval is more, so those are termed as slow changes. Example for this, burning, and for slow change it's rusting. Okay, second type of change is your periodic and non-periodic changes. Periodic and non-periodic. Now again focus on the word, just focus on the word, you will get the definition. Periodic changes and non-periodic changes. Now first of all, before moving into the definition, just see what is the common word here. It's period. The word is period. Now whenever a word period is there, it means it is something which is fixed. We are talking about something which is fixed. For example, in your school, your period duration is fixed, 30 minutes or 35 minutes or 40 minutes. Okay, whatever be the time span of your school, so we can say that the duration of that period is fixed. It's not that first period is of 1 hour and second period is of 20 minutes, then the third period is of 40 minutes. In that way, it is not like that. Periods means something which is fixed. Now go back to the point. The point is periodic change. It means changes which takes place at a fixed time. That will change, the change that will take place in fixed time. For example, day and night duration. Okay, it's fixed. Day and night duration is fixed. Or simply we can say that one day consists of 24 hours. Suppose we are taking this simple example. Okay, so it has never happened that a day was calculated to be of 25 hours or it was of 23 hours. So the duration of a day is fixed, 24 hours. The duration of days in a week is fixed. Every week is of 7 days. So all these things which are fixed comes under periodic changes. Non-periodic changes means which do not have a fixed time to occur. For example, it is not fixed that when you are taking breakfast, it is not fixed that at a particular time you are taking your breakfast. Suppose you are taking breakfast at 8:20 a.m. in the morning. This is the time that you have fixed for your breakfast, but it is not a fixed time for you. Why? Sometimes it may happen that you may take it at 8:10. Sometimes you are taking it at 8:30. Sometimes you may take it at 8:21. Same is for your lunch, same is for your dinner. So these changes are not fixed changes. Every change which is not fixed is non-periodic, and every change which is fixed, for example, duration of day, number of days in a week, number of days in a month, okay, all these things are fixed. Number of days in a year, 365.25, okay, 365 days and 4 hours. So everything is fixed. So those things comes under periodic changes, and which is not fixed comes under non-periodic changes. So these were the first 2 points that is in your book, according to your book. Now let's move on to the point number third. The point number third is your natural and man-made changes. Now again focus on the word, you will get your definition. Natural changes, man-made changes. For example, it is not you or it is not any other person who is giving his effort to change day into night, or any person is not giving any effort to change night to day. Okay, I hope it is clear. We are not applying any effort, we are not giving any effort for changing day to night and night to day. It is happening naturally. So all these processes, all these changes which are taking place by nature itself, they are called as natural changes. For example, change of weather. Change of weather, you are not giving some effort to change the weather. Suppose it's winter nowadays, so you are not going to apply any effort to make it to convert to autumn season or your summer season or your spring season. It will happen by itself, it will happen by nature itself. So all those changes which are done by nature are called as natural changes. Now what are man-made changes? For example, you went to the market and you bought some vegetables. This is just an example from your basic life. So you bought some vegetables from the market. Now if you keep it on the plates, you won't get it cooked, it won't cook by itself. I hope it is clear. If you buy vegetables from the market and keep it on your plates, okay, it won't get cooked by itself. You have to apply effort, okay, to make it convert to a cooked vegetables. In the same way, you are buying flour from the market, okay, a wheat flour, whatever flour you're buying. So to convert it to chapatis, you have to make effort, you have to apply some effort. It is your effort which converts that raw material to cooked thing. So that are called as man-made changes. Man-made changes means you are applying effort on it. Natural means you don't have to apply any effort, it is happening naturally. Day and night, change of weather, everything is happening by nature itself. And man-made changes, for which you have to apply some effort in order to get it done, so they are called as man-made changes. I hope it is clear. Natural and man-made changes. Now next change is desirable and undesirable changes. Now let us first talk about desirable changes. Now this has nothing to do with the nature or effort. Okay, this topic is totally different from your natural. Some of the student gets confused that desirable changes, non-desirable changes are just like your man-made and natural changes. They are totally different. See, what are desirable changes? For example, let's take the example from the past. What we have studied right now is cooked food. This is your desirable change. You want food, but you don't want a raw food. So your desire is to get a cooked food. So this is desirable change. You don't want a, suppose you want to convert something, you want coal, okay, suppose it's winter time and you want coal for heat or something. You don't want this type of coal which is cool, okay, you are not interested in cool coals, you are interested in coals which will give you heat, okay, which will give you heat. So you are interested in this type of coal, not in this type of coal. So this is undesirable, this is desirable. In the same way, vegetables from market, if it gets cooked, then this is your desirable change. You want this thing to happen. Let us take an example from your basic life. Suppose right now your age is 20 years. Your age is 20 years. So your desire is to remain in this age. You want to remain in this age, 20 years or 25 years maximum, where you have strength in your body. So this is your desirable change which you want. You don't want to be a kid. You don't want to be a 5 years child. Okay, nobody is interested in being a 5-year or 10-year child. Okay, why? Because that time you don't have that much strength. But near about 20 to 25, you want to stay at this age. So this is your desirable change which you want for yourself. Undesirable change is after some years, this 20 years will get converted to 40 years. After 20 years, this person's age will be 40 years. Then again after 10 years, he will be 50 years. So this is undesirable change. You don't want to get old, that is undesirable. I hope it is clear. Changes which you don't want. they are called as undesirable, and the changes which you want are desirable changes. For example, nobody would like to have tsunami or flood or some anything, any natural disaster near your place. You won't want, I hope nobody wants that I should get flood in my city. I hope nobody wants that I should get an earthquake in my city. So these are undesirable changes. These are undesirable changes. Flood, earthquake, all these things are undesirable changes. But what is desirable change? Suppose you bought a sapling of mango. You bought a mango plant. Now what is your desire? Your desire is this mango plant should convert to a tree and should give you mangoes. Mango plant you bought from market, your desire is to get it converted to a tree so that it can give you mango. So this is your desirable change. But undesirable change, you don't want flood, you don't want earthquake. Okay, so all these things comes under undesirable and desirable change. So do not mix this point with your man-made and natural changes. So earthquake and are undesirable changes, and your conversion of a plant to a fruitful tree is your desirable change. I hope it is clear. Now let's move on to next point, which is very easy. Last point is reversible and irreversible. Reversible changes and irreversible changes. From your smaller classes, you can take the example of ice, water vapor. You know that ice can be converted to water can be converted to water vapor. Now is reverse process possible for this? Definitely. Water vapor can be condensed to water can be freezed to get it converted to ice. Again, ice can be melted to get water can be boiled to get water vapor. So this is reversibility or reversible processes which can be interconverted. Those processes are called as reversible. It's very easy. Irreversible means a process which cannot be reversed. Suppose burning of paper. Now use your mind to think that if you burn a paper, is that product reversible? That product is not reversible. Ashes are not reversible. Is ashes reversible? Ashes are not reversible. Ashes cannot be converted back to that paper which was burnt. In the same way, milk under the action of bacteria gets converted to curd. Now is this curd, is it possible to convert this curd back to milk? Answer is no. So these are irreversible processes. Reversible means which you can reverse, irreversible means which you cannot reverse. Now why I taught you all these points is because now when we will talk about physical changes, we will talk about it in the next video, then we will use these things. If something is reversible, it comes under physical change. If something is irreversible, it comes under chemical changes. Okay, so the types of changes that we studied today will be used in clarifying our concept of your physical and chemical changes. So I hope these 5 types of changes are clear to you. So after this, now we'll move to the topic. Current topic is physical and chemical changes. After you are clarified with this concept, then only move on to the second video. Otherwise, if you skip this, you won't get to know what is reversibility, irreversibility, man-made changes, natural changes. There are many questions sometimes on these topics also. They won't give you straight question on physical and chemical changes. They may ask you that define man-made and physical changes, man-made and natural changes with an example, or they will tell you that give what do you mean by reversible changes, give some example to clarify it. Okay, so don't think that this is not a important part, since we are not getting these words physical and chemical changes. For getting onto this concept, we should clarify the concept of these type of changes. So I hope these 5 types of changes are clear to you. Okay, so in the next video we are going to start with physical and chemical changes. Till then, keep growing, keep studying. Thank you.